And then I realized that sometimes we let other individuals or what other individuals think of us influence what we're going to do. Sure. And there's nothing else I can't stand with is when someone other's influence is able to influence what I do as an individual. Yes. Sometimes I don't like being around mess and messy people and folks that backbite and folks that gossip, because I understand that their influence in turn has an influence on me, whether we think about it or not. But when we are worried about what other folks think about all the time, it hinders what God has for us to do. And so sometimes we have to reevaluate our crowd and reevaluate who we hang around with and reevaluate who we measure ourselves up against when we're talking about the cool meter and the cool points and how to be like and how not to be like. And I've come to the conclusion that sometimes you have to separate yourself from folks that are always negative and separate yourself from folks that are always about mess. And there's nothing wrong with separating yourself. Just because you don't want to be around somebody doesn't mean that you hate them. All that it means is that you love yourself more. Just because you don't want to be around folks don't mean that you don't care about them. All that it means is that you care about yourself more. And just because you don't want to deal with somebody else's mess, all that it means is that I have enough mess of my own to deal with. And it reminded me, Demetrius, since I call him April, I think I call him Demetrius. I was on a plane once, going from Chicago to Baltimore. And I went to the airport, got on the plane, I was comfortable, and I went straight to sleep. And then I woke up, and the pilot said, passengers, we are now arriving in Buffalo. And I said, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be in Baltimore, not Buffalo. And so I pressed the little button above, and the stewardess came, and I said, ma'am, I just woke up, and the pilot said that we're in Buffalo. Why am I in Buffalo? I need to be in Baltimore. Did I get on the wrong plane? Did I do something wrong? She says, no, sir, you're in the right place. We're just having a layover. And I said, oh, I've never been on a plane ride where there's been a layover, because I've only been on short flights for the most part. Can you explain to me what a layover is? And she says, basically what a layover is three things. The first thing that we do is that everybody that's not meant to be with you at the final destination in Baltimore, we escort them off of the plane. And not only do we escort them off of the plane, we make sure that they take their baggage with them. Okay. So they get off the plane, and they take all of their baggage with them. The second thing we do is that we come behind them and we clean up all of the mess. Because we are preparing for the third thing, and that's to introduce the new people on the plane that are supposed to be with you when you arrive at your final destination in Baltimore. Some of us just need a layover in our life. There are some folks that you have to kindly excuse on your plane. And make sure that when they leave, they take all of their baggage with them. And it's not enough to make sure that they leave and they take their baggage with them, but make sure that you follow up behind them. Get your Windex, get your clean up all of the mess that they left in your life. And as soon as you clean up the mess off of them, then you can allow new people in your life that are meant to be with you in your destination. Be careful who you surround yourself with. Be careful who you associate with. Be careful who you allow to influence you, because if you're focused on them, you're not focused on yourself. And if you're focused on them, you're not focused on what we are all here to be focused on, and that's to praise God. Somebody say pride. The last thing that I think affects someone's praise is their story. Sometimes I just have to sit down and I think real quietly. Whenever I get a little bit sidetracked, I think quietly about my story. And I think about all that God has brought me through in spite of me. And if you think about all that he has brought you through,